Hey YouTube, welcome back, and what is up? You know how we often do these unboxings together of things that aren't even in a box, and they are normally things that are some new piece of tech or some new piece of EDC gear that I wish to carry around and include into my daily load. Well, today is one of those days again, and you've seen it already in the description. Today we are unboxing a watch. This watch comes to me from the Ukraine. However, what is in it is a watch from Russia. You've also already read that. And it is a watch you could call vintage, maybe 40 years old. And that means it was made in the USSR, so when Russia still was, of course, a socialist country. This watch was made. And it's also not a wristwatch like this one, right? This run-of-the-mill Casio that I wear. Nothing special, nothing wrong with it. I don't know, $50 or less. No, this is a pocket watch, and it's also not a quartz watch or a digital watch that is battery powered. No, it's a mechanical watch. Right, let's get into it. The knife we're using. We're also having this tool. We might use it later. The knife we're using is the Case elephant's toe, because that is also from the 1970s, mid-1970s. However, of course, this knife is made in the United States, so go capitalism. And this watch was made in the USSR, so go Marxism, I suppose. Let's see. We'll just cut that open real nice. Come on. Come on. Right, put that to the side. Oh, lots of bubble wrap, which is good, I suppose, right? Seeing that the item is more or less unique at this point. It's a ball of tape and bubble wrap. How can I even get to this? Should we just maybe carefully go through the side? So we're getting through a first layer of bubble wrap. Maybe we can peel this now like a banana. I mean, I like bubble wrap as much as the next guy, but this is a bit excessive. Maybe you wanna skip forward. Oh, okay, here we go, right? The outside layer with all the tape, we got that off. Now the rest should be easy peasy. Oh, now here's the price that I paid for it. $50. Yeah, that's about right. In a baggie. And here we have the watch in question. Oh man. You see? It is a watch made by the Russian company Molnija. So you would say Molnija in English. Molnija means lightning. And so they have been making watches for the Russian market, but also for export for many decades, until they closed the factory in like 2000 something. But so they basically have been making these watches like with this train on the back for many decades, and they have not really changed the movement, right? They once in the past copied themselves a good watch movement from Switzerland, from a Swiss company, and then ever used that for the longest time. And so that's nice. When you get into watches, then maybe you will find that overwhelming, that there's lots to know, lots to look at, especially with American vintage watches. There are quite a few brands that you might look at, and some are very expensive and some are not as expensive, and you can actually buy maybe a watch that's not in quite as nice condition for what, $20-30, right? But then you're not sure what you're getting. But these Russian watches are pretty accessible from the information standpoint. If you Google these words here, you will find a very comprehensive guide that also helped me when I bought this watch. And these, just like many things made in Soviet Russia that are still around, right? They are not expensive because they made these excessive numbers of things, right? And also they lasted really long, and they didn't change their designs because they didn't have to. They didn't have to. Um, and so yeah, interesting stuff. But anyway, now let's look at it, right? Mm, so you have here your dial, right, with numbers on it, Roman numerals, which is nice. Here on top, that is, you cannot maybe not see that. That is a wheel with wings, which they put on here because this is a railway watch, but it's not the same as an American railway watch where there are special standards that it has to meet that so that it could be a railway conductor's watch. They just put this symbol on there saying this is a railway watch. That is why there's also a railway on the back. Now, this one says Serkisof, which was a jeweler in Istanbul. So this watch was a factory order for a jeweler in Istanbul. And then, once this was sold to this jeweler, was probably actually given to the railway administration in Turkey. So even though this is not a railway watch, this watch might very well have been used by the Turkish railway. What else is here? Here is a logo. It looks like there's a K in the middle, but it's just a Russian letter or symbol, showing that this is approved by the party, as the stamp of quality. Here is also the maker's name in Russian also, Molnija. Here in the bottom, you could maybe not see that. It also says made in the CCCP. Also in Russian. Everything on here is in Russian, even though this watch was exported to Turkey. Says here, right, the name of the jeweler, Serkisof. Demirolu is the word for train, as I've learned, or railway. Here is right the crescent moon and the star from the Turkish flag. And it's what's nice for this particular piece that I bought is that the case seems to be nickel silver only, no plating. Other watches that they made were chrome plated and then maybe brass at the bottom. This one is nickel silver all through, I believe. Now the glass here is not in fact glass. It's the crystal is plastic. It doesn't look like it, so it yeah, and it's nice and shiny, right? I mean, the person in the Ukraine probably polished it. Now we should look at the insides of this watch, right? You also still have the third hand for the seconds, right? So this hand goes around. Now you would wind this by simply turning the crown, right? Like a conventional wristwatch. Also, you would just wind the crown, and you would have to wind it maybe every day because a mechanical watch, right, needs to be brought back to full spring tension to run for a day or two. Same here. You would also have to set the time by pulling this up and then setting it. But we'll have a look at the insides first. So here we are back. Sorry, my camera died, but lucky for you, you haven't missed a thing. So as you saw, I just popped that open with this gap between the covers, and now we can look at the movement. So still open. The movement. Some decent finish here. I know it's yeah, it's okay. It's of course on more expensive watches you would find much more detailed finishes on the inside and on the outside anyway. But so here we have now the movement. And this is an 18 joule movement, so they started out I think with 15 joules. The joules basically are are like bearings, right, for the different axes to run on. This one happens to have 18 of them. Now you can only see, well, about 5 or so, right? These 3 large ones here in the middle, and then 2 more here. But there are supposed to be 18 jewels. Well, and this is the movement, right? It's a copy of a Swiss movement. Right. Well, so these Serkisof watches were also made with a dust cover that would still go on top here, right, between the outside cover and the movement. This one didn't have the dust cover. Well, I mean, it's not that I'm living anywhere where it's dusty, but yeah, it would have been nice to have it. Didn't get it. But okay, let's wind this up, shall we? So we can see how this moves. So you gotta turn that clockwise, seeing that is a watch, and you can already see that now the watch has started moving. This take a while. With the cover on it, you would find it a little bit easier to do. Okay, almost there, I believe. You cannot overwind this, seeing that it would just, it would just stop when it's fully wound. Here we go. This is it. Wow, it took lots of turns. And so, you see now, right, that the movement now is moving. Little parts are ticking away as they are supposed to. What else is there to see here? Well, this, like most pocket watches, this has also a regulator here, right? You can adjust this. This has already moved towards the plus side, so a little bit. I hope this won't be a problem in the future, right? That it needs more adjustment, but there's no more range on that regulator. But okay, who knows? Anyway, let's close that up again. Should snap right into place. See that it's straight. It took me actually a bit of time to get that snap back into place, but eventually it just snapped, and now here we are with our watch ticking. You can see it on the second hand, right? We could now set that, but it's a bit unexciting because it's only about 40 minutes early. Pull this out, set it to 5 to 12. 5 to 12, there we go. Well, that wasn't exciting. And our watch ticks away. Very nice. Another thing that I've done earlier is took this tool, right, it was on this lanyard before, took this off, because now on the other end of the lanyard we could put this watch. You know, in the olden days, back in the days, people would carry a watch like this on a chain, right? Maybe a gold chain or a silver chain or gold filled, something like that, because, well, it was a valuable day-to-day object, right? You would be quite upset if you lost your watch. Just like today, if you lost your expensive and nice watch that you're also just used to, right, that you don't want to lose, then you would be quite upset. And in the past, right, people just didn't replace things very often. If you bought a watch, you would want to keep it for decades, right? People wouldn't just go to a store and buy a new thing every 2 years, like maybe today. People do that with their phones, or some people do that with their cars. Not in the past. Would it look better on the other side? Maybe. But okay. Just for my personal use, right, I'll leave it like this. This tool can now go back on the other side, because this should fit through here. I've measured it, right? This should fit through here. Yeah. Now the small pocket tool, this Chinese Sanrenmu pocket tool, this could now still be taken off, um, while the watch would have to stay on its chain. 12 o'clock. And now you could carry this in your pocket like this. Is that stylish or is that just strange? I don't know. You would put this maybe on the inside of your pants or inside another pocket just as a weight, so that when you pull the watch out, it still is basically attached to your body somehow, right? So that even if you were to fumble and drop it, it would maybe swing from the pocket and it would be saved, right? And that's the idea of a chain and a fob on the other side, maybe like a coin, what people used to do in the past. Well, this is what I have thought up so far. And yeah, I think maybe that's cool. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and bye bye.